Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Season 2, Episode 2 of Trollhunters Tales of Arcadia, titled Skullcrusher. The name of the episode comes from Gunmar's title of Skullcrusher. So, Jim's part of the episode isn't actually that big. We see him getting thrown in a cell, basically insulting Dictatious, telling him that Blinky thinks he's dead, and Dictatious finding some of the nougat nummies that Toby has been throwing to let Jim know that, hey, you ain't alone. We still out there, buddy. We still got your back. Jim hears a voice that says you shouldn't have come here, which is Nomura. You know, the changeling from Season 1. I don't think we find that out in this episode, though. That's just something we learn in the future, I think. He's taken by some gum-gums and Dictatious to meet Gunmar, but he fights back, kills one, and basically unhands the other. Gunmar ends up killing the second Gum-Gum who was defeated because, you got defeated by a kid, bro. Can't have that shit. That shit won't fly. Dictatious manages to convince him to spare Jim because, there's now another way to get out of the Darklands with the nougat nummies. So they do that and throw him back in his cell, while most of the episode kind of takes place in Troll Market and shit. So we see Claire overhearing a conversation between Usurna and Vindel. And it's basically them talking about where they're going to throw the bridge, throw it in a hole no one can find, which is the ocean. We cut to Toby and Blinky trying to find a cure for the Reaper's poison to cure Arg. And in comes Vindel like, the goddamn goat he is. Alright, so, I'm not supposed to be telling you this, but we're gonna be throwing the bridge into a hole that nobody can find, and you should not go looking for it, okay? Okay, yeah, you shouldn't do it. Totally don't go looking for it. I also love how Vindel was still defending Jim to Usurna even after all this shit. Even after this, because, Usurna to a point is correct. He did threaten, Trollkind by opening the bridge. But yet my man Vindel out here still defending Jim. Because Jim has proven himself, so he's willing to give Jim the benefit of the doubt with this. And, hey, there's now 2 less Gum-Gums. So, what do you know? And some of the other horrors he's probably killed in his time there. So, hey, there's that. So Claire understands it and is like, yeah, I got it. I understand now. So she makes a deal with not Enrique, who's trying to leave the house. Because, real Enrique's back. And she's like, you help. So she shoves him into the container. So she can have an emotional anchor with, Portal. Back at school, though, the reason that they say Jim's not there is because he's got a rare disease, Jim Lake's disease. And there's a whole bake sale, fundraising to help cure him. Side note, how is Barbara not suspicious? I need the episode where they're just running around trying to make sure nobody contacts Barbara because she'll call the bullshit right then and there. What? Were they raising all this money and nobody called Barbara? How did this even happen? How did that even No, you know what? Cartoon logic. We're just gonna go from there. So Steve is calling the bullshit. He's like, Jim's just scared because I'm king now. Because, he won Spring Fling King or whatever it was. So he follows Toby and Claire to the secluded spot where they're gonna rebuild the bridge. And, Toby's, using the mask that turns him to Jim, basically doing Steve's orders, bowing, whatever. They're getting in a real fight, and, Toby's about to have his moment. Like, he's about to stand up to Steve. Like, he's got his fist clenched, ready to deck the motherfucker. And then, he's like, you're right. Claire is right. Hey, you should duck, though. Because out comes the final piece of, bridge, slamming into Steve, knocking him out, and probably should have been killing him, considering, you know, the height it was falling, but, you know, cartoon logic. Also, I loved that, you know, so there was trouble with getting the bridge open, and Claire couldn't do it. She nearly couldn't do it. So, instead of using, at first, not Enrique tried to get her angry enough to open it, but when that didn't work, he said, maybe another emotion. I was honestly kind of expecting the episode to end being like, I use love, you know, I love you, little bro. But it was kind of that, but she admitted that she used fear, because she thought she had lost Not Enrique, which is kind of the same difference in a sense. Same reason, but I was kind of expecting just to love it to be like, I love you, little bro, you know? But I like the fear one better. So they've got all the pieces ready to be put together. Jim's kind of, you know, shit out of luck. Gunmar knows that Toby and them are looking for him. I'm assuming they're going to find a way to cure Arg. Actually, they did find some way. The cure is with the Janus Order, so, somebody find Strickler. Somebody find Strickler. You can cure Arg. Overall, this was a pretty fun episode, actually. I love that it gave Toby and Claire some time to shine. I also love the ending where, after getting knocked out, they moved Steve to a bench, deleted the video of Toby Jim, and so the cop thought this man was drunk as shit. Yeah, we know. You were hanging out with your friend Jim, Jack, and Tito. We know. So, you know, he starts running around, you know, not really helping his case, and the cop's like, all right, kid, let's call your parents. And that's how that episode ended. That was, in my opinion, one of the best endings. Overall, I'm going to give this episode 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.